It begins before you even stand up. The alarm goes off, you reach over to silence it, but you don't put the phone down. You tell yourself a lie. I'm just checking the weather, or I need to see if my boss emailed me. But your thumb doesn't go to the weather app. It goes to Instagram. It goes to Twitter. It goes to TikTok. Suddenly, it's 7:45 a.m. You haven't brushed your teeth, you haven't stretched, you haven't greeted your partner. You have just injected 45 minutes of other people's anxiety, other people's success, and other people's arguments directly into your brainstem. You start your day in a deficit. You feel tired, not because you didn't sleep, but because you just ran a marathon of information processing before you even had a glass of water. If this is you, you are not alone, and you are not broken. You are the victim of a very specific invisible war, a war for your attention, and right now, you are losing. To understand why you can't stop, we have to go back to the 1930s, to a Harvard psychologist named B.F. Skinner. Skinner ran an experiment that changed history. He put pigeons inside a box, now famous as the Skinner box. Inside the box was a lever. When the pigeon pecked the lever, a pellet of food would come out. At first, Skinner set it up so that every single time the pigeon pecked, it got food. Peck, food. Peck, food. The pigeons were happy. They pecked when they were hungry, and they stopped when they were full. But then Skinner changed the rules. He made the reward random. Sometimes the pigeon pecked and got nothing. Sometimes it pecked and got one pellet. Sometimes it pecked and got a massive jackpot of food. The pigeons went insane. They didn't just peck when they were hungry, they pecked unceasingly. They pecked until their beaks bled. They became obsessed with the chance of a reward. This is called a variable reward schedule, and it is the most addictive pattern known to psychology. Does this look familiar? When you pull down to refresh your email or a swipe up on TikTok, you are the pigeon. Will it be a boring email? No reward. Will it be a funny meme? Small reward. Will it be a viral notification that you went famous? Jackpot. Silicon Valley engineers know this. Asa Raskin, the inventor of the infinite scroll feature, has publicly regretted his invention. He compared it to behavioral cocaine. They didn't design your phone to be a tool. They designed it to be a Skinner box. There is another experiment you need to know about. The Bottomless bowl study by Dr. Brian Wansink. He gave people a bowl of soup that secretly refilled itself from the bottom as they ate. The result? People ate 73% more soup than normal, and they didn't even report feeling full. Why? Because they never saw an empty bowl. Their eyes never gave their brain the signal, you are done. Your phone is a bottomless bowl. The news feed never ends. The up next video on YouTube never stops. There is no stopping cue. In the 1990s, when you finished the newspaper, you folded it up. It was done. When the TV show ended, the screen went black. Today, the scroll is infinite. If you rely on your brain to tell you when to stop, you will lose. You will eat the soup until you explode. So, we cannot rely on willpower. Willpower is a muscle, and by 10 a.m., yours is exhausted. We need friction. We need to manually build the walls that Silicon Valley tore down. The concept of friction isn't new. It goes back to Greek mythology. This is the story of Ulysses and the Sirens. Ulysses knew that when he sailed past the Sirens, their beautiful songs would hypnotize him. He would steer his ship into the rocks and die. He knew he wasn't strong enough to resist. He knew his willpower would fail. So he made a Ulysses Pact. He ordered his men to tie him to the mast of the ship. He ordered them to plug their own ears with wax. He said, no matter how much I scream, no matter how much I beg you to untie me, keep sailing. This is the ultimate example of physical friction. He removed the choice from his future self. You need to tie yourself to the mast. Here is how you create a Ulysses Pact with your phone. It's called the K-Safe or kitchen safe. This is a plastic container with a timed lock. You put your phone in, You twist the dial to 1 hour, you press the button, click. That's it. There is no override code, there is no back door. You could smash it with a hammer, but you won't. I want you to imagine the relief. The moment that lid locks, your brain stops buzzing. Why? Because the option is gone. The struggle is over. You can't check it, so you stop thinking about it. If you don't want to buy a safe, use the car key method. When you get home, leave your phone in the glove box of your car. Lock the car, walk inside. Now, to check your phone, you have to find your keys, put on your shoes, walk outside, and unlock the car. That is high friction, and because you're lazy, you won't do it. Let's look at one more historical master of friction, Victor Hugo, the author of Hunchback of Notre Dame. In the summer of 1830, Hugo was facing a deadline. He had to write a massive book in 6 months. But he kept getting distracted by parties and friends. So he did something extreme. He gathered all his formal clothes, his suits, his nice pants, his coats, and he locked them in a large chest. He gave the key to his assistant and said, "Do not give this back to me until the book is finished." He literally could not leave the house without being humiliated. He created social friction. He finished the book weeks early.
How do we apply the Victor Hugo strategy to 2026?
We change our environment to make the good habits the path of least resistance. Most people sit down to work and their desk is a mess. Their laptop is closed, their papers are hidden. The activation energy to start working is high. Meanwhile, their phone is face up, unlocked, right next to their hand. Activation energy, 0. Flip the script. First, the phone charger rule. Move your phone charger to the least used room in your house, maybe the guest room or behind the couch. Never, ever have a charger within arm's reach of your workspace. Second, the mise en place protocol. This is a chef's term. It means everything in its place. Before you go to bed, set up your desk for the next morning. Open the laptop, open the document, write the first sentence. Third, the book on the pillow. If you want to read, put the book physically on your pillow. You cannot go to bed without touching it. You're designing a life where doing the right thing is lazy and doing the wrong thing is hard. Now, I want to try something with you, right now, in real time. I want you to pause this video. Not yet, but in a second. I want you to put your phone face down and I want you to sit there for 60 seconds doing absolutely nothing. You're going to feel an itch, a literal physical tension in your chest or your fingers. You will want to check a notification. You will want to click away. This is the addiction leaving the body. This is called urge surfing. Addiction researchers have found that cravings are not a straight line. They're a wave. They rise, they peak, and they crash. Most people panic when the wave rises. They think this feeling will last forever unless I check my phone. That is a lie. If you just sit there and breathe and observe the feeling like a scientist, oh, look, my chest feels tight. Oh, look, I'm bored. Within 90 seconds, the chemical wave breaks. The dopamine craving subsides. You don't have to fight the wave. You just have to ride it until it hits the shore. We live in an economy that mines your attention for profit. Every app on your phone is a team of engineers trying to hack your psychology. You cannot win a fair fight against them. So don't fight fair. Cheat. Use the Skinner box against them. Use the Ulysses Pact. Lock your clothes away if you have to. Here is my challenge. Not a 30-day challenge. That's too long. I want you to try a 24-hour dopamine fast. For just one day, this Sunday, turn the phone off. Put it in the glove box of your car. Tell your family, I am offline today. You will be bored, you will be anxious, you will reach for your pocket and feel nothing. But by the afternoon, the fog will lift. The colors of the world will look a little brighter. You will remember what it feels like to have a human brain again. If you're ready to build the wall, comment the word friction below. Let the algorithm know that you are opting out. Subscribe if you want to be productive. If you want to know how to be happy when no one is there, watch this video.